One day, I got a call from my bank manager telling me that someone had tried to transfer money from my account, and he wanted to confirm it was me. Gave me the number and asked me to call them back. I called the number, but it wasn't my bank. It was a scammer. So crazy thing is, I have gotten these calls every single year for the past 5 years. How can they keep getting my details? Today, I'll teach you exactly how they do this and 4 other psychological tricks scammers use to trick people like you and me. For over 20 years, I worked in banking. First as a relationship manager at a large international bank, and then running an anti-fraud department. I dealt with all kinds of financial scams, and even lost my job because I refused to tell clients their balances over the phone. When you work in finance, especially in fraud, you meet some interesting people. I learned a lot about human psychology, and I also met many scammers who shared their techniques with me. So today, I'll share 5 things I learned. Number 1, they know how to make you trust them. In 2020, my wife received a text message from someone she knew. She received a WhatsApp message saying her brother needed help as his car had broken down, and he needed her to transfer some money urgently. Without hesitation, she transferred the money, thinking it was an emergency. However, immediately after sending the money, she received another message saying it was a scam and she should report it to the police. The first message had come from her brother's phone, which the scammers had hijacked. How did they get access to his phone? Well, a few days before, her brother had received a phone call from someone pretending to be a bank employee. They told him there was suspicious activity on his account, and they just needed to verify his personal information to ensure everything was okay. He gave away his personal details, and soon after his phone was hacked. This is a common tactic scammers use. They usually call from a country with a similar area code to yours. So for example, if you live in London, they may call from the Surrey area, which has a similar code to London. Or if you're from the United States, they might call from New York City or from another state with a similar name. The goal is to make you feel comfortable and increase the chances that you will answer the call. But why? Well, according to social psychology, when we receive a call from someone we think we know, we are more likely to trust them and be more open to what they have to say. This is known as the familiarity principle, or the attraction we have towards things we see regularly or frequently. This means that you're more likely to believe someone if they are from your country or city, rather than someone from a completely different country. If you live in the UK and get a call from Nigeria, you probably won't answer. But if you get a call from Newcastle, you might. That SY scammers often pose as customer service representatives from companies they know you've dealt with before, like banks or Amazon. To protect yourself, always remember, no legitimate company will ever ask for your personal details or login credentials through a phone call or text message. If you receive such a request, it's a scam. Number 2, they use authority to gain your trust. One day, I got a phone call from someone claiming to be a police officer. Told me that my internet history showed I had been involved in illegal activity and my IP address had been used to access child abuse material. Unless I paid him £2,000, he would arrest me. What did he mean by illegal activity? Well, I had used LimeWire to download music when LimeWire was popular and before iTunes. Back then, it was common to download music, but now it's illegal. It seems I had been caught. Anyway, the guy was very convincing and said I should transfer the money to a Bitcoin wallet. After I hung up the phone, I contacted a lawyer friend of mine, and he laughed when he heard the story. He said it happens a lot, and he'd even had similar calls himself. There are countless scammers out there posing as law enforcement officers, doctors, or other respected professionals. Why? Because people tend to trust those in positions of authority. We obey and comply with their requests without questioning them. To avoid falling victim to this trick, always remember to verify the identity of anyone who claims to be in a position of authority, and never give out personal or financial information over the phone unless you've initiated the contact and are sure of the person's credibility. Number 3, they pretend to be nice to make you feel guilty. I once received a call from someone with a heavy Indian accent. He told me I had won £5,000 in an online lottery I didn't enter. I asked him to hold on while I checked my records, but he insisted I hadn't actually won anything. Confused, I asked him to explain further. He said someone had entered my details into a lottery without my knowledge, and I could keep the winnings if I paid a small fee. Thinking it was a prank, I kept questioning him, but he became agitated, raised his voice, and hung up. A few minutes later, I received a call from my wife saying she'd spoken to someone with a similar accent, and they claimed I had scammed them. Feeling angry and insulted, I called back. As it turned out, these guys were using a classic trick where they tried to guilt trip you into paying them. They call unsuspecting people and tell them they VA won a prize, but need to pay a fee to collect it. Once you agree, they vanish. To avoid falling for this trick, hang up on people who call you offering unsolicited prizes or gifts. To UNT, let their apparent kindness make you feel guilty into doing something you don't want to do. Number 4. They take advantage of our desire for instant gratification. Some time ago, I had a client who received a call from someone claiming to be from Microsoft. They told her that her computer had a virus and they could fix it remotely for a fee. Although skeptical, she agreed and gave them remote access. Within seconds, they had fixed her computer and she was impressed by their speed. Since she was already on the phone with them, she decided to have them run other checks, which would take a few hours. She went out for lunch, and when she came back, they told her they had found several issues and would charge her for each fix. She ended up paying thousands of pounds. Later, she told me she felt pressured to pay due to the time and money already invested. This is a common tactic scammers use called the sunk cost fallacy. People often continue investing time and money into something they've already invested in, even if it's not a good idea. For example, you buy a movie ticket, but after 10 minutes of watching the movie, it's terrible. You stay in the theater until the end. This is the sunk cost fallacy. To avoid falling for this trick, recognize that past investments of time, energy, or money do not justify continuing to invest in something that is not worth it. Just because you've already spent a lot of time trying to fix a problem doesn't mean you should keep wasting your effort. Number 5. They offer deals that sound too good to be true. Imagine this. You're re-scrolling through Facebook when you see an ad for a weight loss product that guarantees results in a month or your money back. Intrigued, you click on it and are taken to a website where you can purchase the product. After reading testimonials from satisfied customers, you decide to buy it. The product arrives and you start taking it daily, but after a month, you notice no difference. You try to contact the company for a refund, but their email address doesn't work and their phone number is disconnected. Unfortunately, you've fallen for a scam. Scammers often use unrealistically good deals to attract victims. For example, promises of easy money, guaranteed weight loss in a few weeks, or incredible discounts on popular products. These offers are designed to generate interest and trick you into taking action. To protect yourself against such scams, always remember that if a deal sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Be skeptical of any offer that seems too perfect and always do your research before making a purchase. Check the company's reputation online and read reviews from other customers before committing to anything. Additionally, be cautious of any website that looks unprofessional or has spelling and grammar errors. So there you have it. 5 psychological tricks scammers use to manipulate people like you and me. Remember to stay vigilant and protect yourself against these tactics. By understanding how scammers operate, we can better defend ourselves against their tricks and prevent ourselves from falling victim to their schemes. Now, I'm curious to hear from you. You've ever fallen prey to a scammer? If so, please share your experience in the comments below. Your story could help others avoid falling for the same scam. Thanks for watching and see you next time.